bio says you're a speaker, you're a blogger, you're an advocate. You've just released a book as well, which we'll get you to share more about that later. But first of all, just can you give us a bit of an insight on how prevalent is porn among women? I mean, is this an issue?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's hard to give an exact answer on that, simply because there is so much cultural, spiritual, and internal shame that women face when it comes up against this topic of pornography. Like they're just not talking about it. And even when it comes to research, the research on women and porn is very limited. What we do have is pretty much all American, I believe, and really aging now, quite old research. Yeah, and in that research, the consensus is the results are still quite conservative. The researchers believe that women still, even under these clinical kind of contexts, they're not willing to be fully honest about what they're actually viewing, how much they're viewing, and their experience of porn. So it is quite a cloudy area. But I can tell you that we know that 1 in 3 visitors to adult websites are women. And when you have, millions of users on a porn site every day and 33% of them are women, it's not actually a small number. Porn is often considered a men's issue. And statistically, like there are more men who are using, more men who struggle. But that, just because there's less women doesn't mean it's a small number of them. It just means that there's a gigantic amount of men who are struggling as well. And women form part of that. The highest, or the fastest growing demographic of porn users right now is young women. So in that kind of 18 to 26 age range. So that's growing really rapidly at the moment. It's becoming more acceptable in society and accessible, definitely, with technology. But it's definitely not just a young person's issue. I feel like in this conversation, it's often treated as a guy's issue. And if women are addressed, it's treated as a young woman's issue. But there are older women who are using and struggling with pornography. And I really wanted to make a special mention of the women who are in the 60 plus category. Because even whilst I was working in this field and had my own experience and story, those older women, I knew them as a statistic. I knew that in theory they were there, but I didn't really know until I published my book and I started getting emails in from women who had read it. And I've been getting like regular emails from women who are 60, 70, 80, who've been struggling with porn, some of them from elementary school. They started when they were 12 and they've never had a safe place to talk about it. Others, in their 50s or 60s, discovered their husband's porn issue and out of curiosity went to see, well, what's he looking at? What does he actually want? And getting hooked themselves.